Hey, this is Jeff, and welcome back to Starfield. We took care of the pirates last week, so Vasco will finally let us deliver the artifact to Constellation. Not sure why the pirates were so obsessed with this ship. Maybe because it's an antique? Anyway, let's make our first grav jump. Kind of a trendy take on FTL, instead of hyperspace or wormholes. Nothing can move faster than light in normal space-time, but space-time itself can expand or contract faster than light.
Starship Frontier, this is United Colony Security. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned.
Oh, are they going to complain about the artifact?
Scan complete. No contraband detected. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
Apparently not. Good. Anyway, the idea of grav drive is that you generate an immense gravitational field to deform space-time and then ride the ripple out like surfing on a wave in the ocean. I personally am skeptical because math, but there are real scientists who spent more than 2 semesters as physics majors who think it might, so I'm keeping an open mind. No hassles getting to New Atlantis, so I guess we get to see what a civilized place looks like in this universe. Well, looks like we get to see the starport first. Probably shouldn't be surprised. Remember, be nice. Just because their government does illegal weapons research and commits war crimes, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the people. They probably don't even know about it. And because I didn't pick one of the faction traits, it's unspecified where I'm from. I'd say let's assume not here, just to explain why I don't know the layout of the place, but the same will be true on any planet where I might have been an industrialist, so we'll just play that by ear. Hell, I don't even know for sure the Terrormorph project was secret. The lab was, but that doesn't mean the project was. Everybody knows nukes exist in the real world, but they don't let Joe Schmo watch while they build them. I need to stash all the crafting resources and take anything I want to sell into town with me. And by the way, we're on a planet orbiting Alpha Centauri, so I'm not exactly sure why people don't think Earth exists. Our sun is literally the next star over from here. I'm starting to think maybe Lynn was being sarcastic. Heller said people don't believe Constellation exists, and she said, well, half of them don't even think Earth exists. But that might have just been like, people are stupid, Heller. Half of them don't believe gravity exists either. What are these guys doing? Can't imagine they're going to refuel or maintain the ship without me paying them first.
These 15-hour shifts are killing me.
Hey, Bosco! What, no Barrett? Let me guess. Protocol Indigo again?
Your memory is uncanny.
And here's your new captain. My crew can take a look at your ship, and you can stop by the Trade Authority kiosk if you need to offload some cargo.
Yeah. I don't think I need any repairs. This is apparently how you buy, sell, modify ships. None of which I need. Where did you say I could sell things?
The Trade Authority runs a vending kiosk next to my booth. It's just off to the side, near the ramp. Besides that, Jemison Mercantile is your closest shop if you're looking for a bit of everything. That's further in, past the security checkpoint.
Thanks.
Everything looks good here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Where's the Trade Authority? We said by the ramp, not down the ramp. I do not see it, but... well, there's his booth. Yeah, if this is anything like a real airport, I probably shouldn't do any trading at the duty-free shop anyway. We'll check out that Jemison Mercantile when we get into the city proper. Well, security over there. Back to Earth for a minute. I guess Lynn could have been speaking literally. People thought Troy was fiction for a long time, even people who lived pretty close to it, until archaeologists uncovered it, and we were like, huh, Homer didn't make that up. On the other hand, I know Troy was rediscovered in the 1800s, but I don't know how long it took after it was abandoned for people to stop believing it ever existed. We're about 300 years in the future, and I have no idea when humans started colonizing other solar systems in this universe, but it probably wasn't 2026. Is that really long enough to forget where your species originated? Seems kind of unlikely. Anyway, enough screwing around the airport. Let's head into the city. Where's the security checkpoint?
I can assure you, this unprovoked attack on a United Colonies research facility will not go unanswered. We'll get you settled into your new assignments as soon as possible. For you, Bobby, that includes meeting your new foster parent.
My parents aren't dead. They just took a different shuttle. I'll see them when they get here.
Oh, well, of course, that's sure possible.
I really hope they're not talking about the lab on Crete. No entry without a visa. Not unreasonable, but recording prohibited? Mild authoritarian vibes. Do I have a visa?
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving.
Please keep moving. Transit, security, hotels and shopping.
Okay. No bounty. You're clear. Enjoy your visit.
I guess I do have a visa. Well, that was a surprisingly easy security checkpoint, all things considered. I gotta say, this is pretty. I just realized. Fashion faux pas, walking around in my spacesuit like a damn tourist. What else do I have? The brown's not bad. And they can't be that authoritarian if they're letting me walk around with my weapons. Yeah, that'll do. Now, the quest marker is leading me over here. That's the transit system, I presume.
This is New Atlantis Transit, or the NAT. It provides free transportation throughout the city. We can take it directly to the Mast District.
However, where's Jemison Mercantile? I want to offload some loot before we head to Constellation. Can we see it on the map? Yes, right there. Right across the plaza from where we are, looks like. Restaurant, bar, don't know what that is. Anyway. The store should be right over here. Is this it? This is it.
Barrett enjoys this establishment. He frequently buys chocolate here, though I have informed him repeatedly it is likely a significant contributing factor to his being overweight.
If it belongs on your ship, then I'm sure we have it for sale. Hi there! Thanks for stopping in. Feel free to look around. I can take care of transactions, and if you've got questions, just ask.
I'd like to see what you have for sale.
Oh, please, take a look.
Slightly different barter menu than I'm used to. There we go. What'll you give me for this stuff? Tape and wire would probably be on the other screen if you needed them for crafting, but I'm going to keep them just in case. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, now we can go take the train to Constellation. I'm assuming the different districts are separate local maps, but I don't know. Maybe we could just walk there. But the train's free, so I'm not motivated to find out. Mast district is what we want. No, not exactly a train, more like a monorail. There's some classic Bethesda RPG right there. We're picking up side quests from overhearing background conversations I can't actually hear. Maybe we'll check back with him after we offload this artifact. This place gives me a vaguely Citadel vibe. Mass Effect Citadel, not Fallout 3 Citadel. Not like plagiarized or samey, just in purpose and tone. Carefully planned, lots of green, almost park-like, to make people feel safe and comfortable even though the surrounding environment is hostile and alien. Well, they wouldn't have settled this planet if it hadn't been at least somewhat habitable, which is a far cry from being on a space station with vacuum right outside the hull, but I presume the environment outside the city isn't like this. I guess I could land somewhere else on the planet and check. Assuming we still have a ship after we talk to Constellation. I'm guessing the game wouldn't strand you here on one planet in a huge open-world RPG. Open galaxy, to be more accurate. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean we'll be leaving on the same ship we arrived in.
That's because in Ambassador Radcliffe's head,
Mast District. Apparently the monorail doesn't drop you off in the Mast District, just nearby.
Help the guard. Contact him if you're interested. We'd all appreciate it.
This sounded important.
Does Radcliffe even need to be involved?
President Abeyo wants to foster relations, not fracture them. Keep up.
We'll make sure she knows that.
Good. I'll see you at the 11:30.
I didn't catch that all, but they were talking about a colony war, and some ambassador wants to restart it, but the president wants to keep the peace. Maybe a plot point later.
We may be in a United Colonies city, but Constellation is an entirely neutral entity. It always has been.
Good to know. So how much you want to bet that somebody we meet is going to want to restart the Terrormorph project, too? Probably not these guys if
Here
they're
we
really
are,
neutral.
the lodge. The front door should unlock if you hold up the watch that Barrett gave you. I have messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be waiting for us inside.
So this is what Barrett's watch is for. It'd be quite the twist if the bad guys were like, "Artifact, we don't care about that. You've seen the lab on Crete. Join us or die."
Captain Jeff, everyone will be in the library, just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger now, and he hopes you'll make this place your home.
I could live with that. It's pretty swish.
What I'm suggesting is so outlandish. All the phenomena. We appear to have a visitor.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
Because he led pirates to the mine? Where I worked, by the way? We drove them off, but he stayed to defend the miners in case the pirates came back and asked me to deliver the artifact.
I see. Bosco, verify.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything?
It was bright lights and sort of music, more like an orchestra tuning up. And not so much lights as a projection of a star chart zooming out of the galaxy and then out of the universe.
Interesting. Similar to Barrett's description of the experience, with less embellishment.
Are you hearing this? Do you all believe me now?
Whether it happened or not wasn't in doubt. But honestly, Contract, you expect us to believe in fairy
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But gentlemen, can we please focus? Noel, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
Sure thing.
That's it. Just like the others. And to imagine, we thought there were only two of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves...
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Contract?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting. Now, would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours?
I assume her dialogue is supposed to imply she thinks Barrett is long-winded, but it kind of felt like she was talking about me. And fair enough. So you want me to join? What would be expected of me?
We're all here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown. Beyond that, you'll be expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us.
Excellent. I hate being micromanaged. I'm much more productive when I have a high degree of autonomy. So tell me about the artifacts.
Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal. Another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space. As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
Well, I don't want to sound too eager, especially since I'm currently unemployed. Thanks to them. This seems like where we should be talking about money. Who am I kidding? I'm in.
You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us. In addition to credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
Well, I already have a boost pack, and I already told her I don't like being micromanaged, but 8,000 credits is double everything I currently have to my name, so good call. She recommended I get to know my new co-workers, and that sounds like a good idea. You're Noel, right?
Ever since I got here, this has felt like home. These people are family. I hope it feels that way for you too. That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noel. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
You're more than welcome. I can't deny the delivery fee was pretty nice, but I was mostly curious about the artifact. You seem to know a lot about them.
Oh, gosh. No, I mean, that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know. and that means a lot of work ahead of us.
Understood. How long have you been working on all this?
Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now. But we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this.
I'm sure he will, after Argos evacuates the rest of the miners. So that vision I saw, what do you think that was?
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something. An energy surge, some other phenomenon.
Yeah, that makes sense, but was it spontaneous or induced? I don't want to assume it was induced, but... yeah, everybody says Barrett experienced something similar.
He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett. We weren't sure if he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't.
Gotcha. So then, given our different backgrounds and personalities, don't you think it's a bit of a coincidence that we both had more or less the same hallucination?
Sure, I'm not trying to suggest otherwise. I wasn't there when it happened. I'm just thinking it through. That's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
Absolutely. I look forward to working with you. As it happens, I'm pretty good at research. Whatever you need, let me know how I can help you learn more.
Well, right now nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition. I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're going to be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Okay, that is not what I was expecting. How would organic resources help with learning about the artifacts? Not saying I'm skeptical, just curious.
I can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing. I don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep.
Ah, she's a fetch quest giver. Gotcha. Well, any excuse to swing by and talk to you works for me. Do I have any organic resources on me?
Okay, let's take a look.
I probably don't. I left all my crafting supplies on the ship. Hey, not saying you're gorgeous and I'm already jumping to asking where the bedrooms are, but yes, I am.
Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour.
Shorthand for, you seem nice, but we just met. Dial it back a notch. Seriously, not hitting on you. Where's my room?
Hey, have you been up to the Eye recently?
I haven't needed to go up there in a bit. Why?
Oh, I just don't know how he does it. Up there all alone for so long.
Some people love that kind of space. Pun intended.
That's one of my catchphrases. Or close enough. Great minds think alike. But seriously, didn't I see a quest objective pop up to follow her? Well, I don't see it, so either I was standing too close to the artifact and hallucinated it, or the NPC conversation with Mateo broke it before my journal updated. Or maybe she's like, hitting on me on the first day on the job. He can find the bedroom himself.
I hope Barrett makes it back to us. I know he gets into trouble all the time, and everyone just sort of accepts he'll be fine, but still.
I'm sure he'll be fine. If he didn't think he could defend the miners better than I could, he would have left me to it and delivered the artifact himself. Well, I better let you get back to it. I want to meet the rest of the team.
Stay safe, okay?
I'll do my best. Now, Walter's a pretty sharp cookie. Not saying I would have stolen the ship, but I might very well have deviated from our course. But I would have returned it. Eventually.
Well, I suppose that station in orbit has more than paid for itself at this point. Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line.
Don't worry about it. I've been called much worse.
Still doesn't excuse it. My frustrations lie more with Barrett. Not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the Lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
Excellent. I will, thanks. So, what's your role in Constellation?
Me? Why, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
Good. We're on the same page regarding autonomy. What's your day job?
We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days.
A lot to parse there, but let's stay on topic. What's your opinion of the vision I had?
Up until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you?
Well, even if I did, don't you think it's strange that Barrett and I had the same hallucination? But no, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yes, I imagined as much. Barrett expressed something similar in his own unique way. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years.
Thanks. Let me talk to Mateo.
Until next time.
Everybody says he's a genius, so let's get his take.
I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for this. Constellation, the artifacts. That doesn't sound crazy, does it? Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo, theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us.
Theology? That's an unusual background. What brought you to Constellation?
Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
Lot to unpack there, too, but stay on topic. Were the other two artifacts also found in caves?
Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found. But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
Well, let's not assume what his interpretation will be. What do you make of my hallucination?
I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but, you know, if the label fits.
Not how I would have phrased it, but I think we're leaning in the same direction on the spontaneous versus induced question. But all I know for sure is I've never experienced anything like it.
That sure lines up with everything else about these artifacts. It's all connected. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts.
And that's where I come in.
Take care of yourself.
I'll do my best.
Lately, I find myself spending more and more time here. Business has appealed to me, but this is exciting.
Will Noel show me my room now?
We've always considered ourselves explorers, but this really is uncharted territory, isn't it?
Apparently not. Guess I'll find it myself.
See you later.
Reading between the lines a little bit, but it sounded like Walter thinks...
You are satisfied with the quarters available to you.
Read the room, Vasco. It sounded like Walter thinks his main competitor liked it better when there was a war on. And Deimos shipyards, as in the moon of Mars? If so, that bolsters my skepticism that people don't believe Earth exists, because it's literally the closest planet to them in the solar system. Well, other than Mars, obviously. I'm not even going to speculate on the who stole what from who situation between Walter and Mateo, but they both seem happy with how it turned out. If there's any lingering resentment on either side, they hide it well. And I should keep an open mind with Mateo. One of my mantras in real life is that religion and faith are not synonyms. They're neither mutually guaranteed nor mutually exclusive. You can have one, both, or neither.
Walter, you don't have to answer this, but I was wondering something. You sure spend a lot of time on Constellation business. Doesn't Issa miss you?
That is a rather personal question, but I'll indulge it. I have been informed that when I am home, I remain preoccupied with Constellation's work, which renders me cantankerous. My wife has therefore decided it is best if I can dedicate my time to our business.
I hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you.
Oh, now he's just rubbing it in. Is this it down here? Well, there are the crafting stations Walter mentioned. Weapons, spacesuit, industrial. For crafting items that aren't weapons or spacesuits, presumably. Nice. Bed. Owned by me. Was kind of hoping for the ancient Earth decor, but beggars can't be choosers. As player starting homes go, it's nicer than the shack in Megaton. A poster would seem to imply a kid lived here at some point. Or a nerd. I own a couple Disney movies that weren't the kids. Back to the topic at hand, I'm guessing that when we get more pieces, the artifact is going to look like the blueprint thing we saw in the Vision. Because it kind of already does. I should keep a scorecard of my early plot speculations, but my first thought was it implies our universe is a simulation. If it turns out we're in the Matrix, I'm not sure if I'll be excited or disappointed. Spacesuit? In a master-locked display case? Maybe a quest reward later? I mean, on one hand, sci-fi writers borrow each other's ideas all the time. Genuinely new, high-concept ideas are few and far between. On the other hand, the first time I heard somebody refer to Ringworld as, oh, it's like Halo, I had 100% meme face. So if we are in the Matrix, how I feel about it depends on how it's executed. And I'm not throwing shade on Halo. They took the Ringworld idea in a completely different direction. So is there really no way up onto that balcony? And yeah, that's totally from the Vision. There's got to be a door.
It's been quieter around here ever since Vladimir went to live on the Eye full time.
No, yeah, I forgot they mentioned the Eye. Some kind of orbital observatory, I'm guessing. Anyway, I think our next objective is to talk to Sarah again.
So, are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else?
We didn't really have a chance to pick her brain earlier. What do you know about the artifacts?
Not much, but you've seen them for yourself. It doesn't take a lot to realize we're dealing with something extraordinary. Just what that is, we'll have to figure out. It's what we do.
Fair enough. I guess I'm ready.
We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are. I've been letting my contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually, but a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising.
So you're saying other people have these artifacts too?
We have to assume that we're not the only ones to have stumbled into this mystery. But most people aren't going into space looking for the unknown. They're looking for places to settle, resources to extract, territory to defend. An odd-looking rock or a single strange hunk of metal wouldn't mean much to them. That's why Constellation exists, in a way, to put pieces like this together.
Gotcha. So, what's the UC Vanguard?
A volunteer force that helps defend the edges of United Colonies space. They're always looking for recruits. Lots of retired veterans and dangerous professionals mixed in with part-timers who barely have a laser cannon welded to a hull. My contact is in the recruiting office, so he hears a lot about what the volunteers are up to.
Seems like a reasonable place to start. But that kind of legwork never pays off quite the way you expect.
You've done this before, eh? Wise words. If we watch each other's backs, we'll be fine. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Yeah. I already told you how I feel about being micromanaged. If you missed that part, I don't care for it. Now, don't get me wrong. I do value advice and having another pair of eyes to look at things, give me perspectives I might not think of myself. But if you think you need to be hands-on managing me, we're not going to get along that well. And speaking of employment-related issues, I'm currently unemployed because of Constellation. We haven't talked about any pay beyond the delivery fee, which was very generous, thank you. But will I be collecting a salary going forward?
You mean besides the ship, the robot, and a place to stay all rent-free? We do have some funds we can disperse from time to time. Not to mention, I think we can get you a proper suit. We're explorers. We keep a lot of equipment on hand for that purpose. So the more you work with us, the more we can share what we have.
Oh, my bad. I think that's the first time anybody officially said I get to keep Vasco in the Frontier. And that is more than adequate. 100% on board with the entrepreneurial model. So, I guess it's you and me until we get that artifact.
We'll need to head to Mast. Check in with the Vanguard recruiting office where my contact works. And listen, whatever you were before or whatever you do once you're out there, I don't care. So long as you don't bring UC security to our doorstep. Every member of Constellation is their own conscience. Understood?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Good. Let's take a little stroll through New Atlantis, shall we?
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then.
No promises, Noel, but maybe we'll have some when we get back. Do I follow Sarah, or is she going to follow me? She's following me. Good. I assume that means Vasco will not. All right, to the UC Vanguard guy. Presumably he'll tell us where the volunteer with the artifact is patrolling, and then we'll have to go find him. In my ship! There are lots of armored guards around, so maybe a little bit of the Fallout 3 Citadel. And yes, it's technically Constellation's ship. Ooh, I wonder if Barrett's going to be annoyed that they loaned it to me. Given that he wasn't really planning to give it back and all. Probably not. He seems like a roll with the punches kind of guy. I thought we were going the right direction, but now we're kind of swinging away from the quest marker. Maybe we can get back around on the other side of this bridge. Well, not really a bridge, more like a path around that big skyscraper. Nope, I can see landscape in the distance. See if we can get a look at what the planet looks like outside the city. It doesn't look super lush, but I see some green on the hills. A ship taking off from the starport. Cool. Of course, there's no way to tell how much of that's native and how much is imported. Alpha Centauri was presumably the first system humans colonized outside their own, in which case they've had more time to terraform it than anywhere else. I really need to get some binoculars or a gun with a scope. Zooming in with the pistol is actually worse than just looking because you're focused on the sights and everything in the distance is blurred. And it does not look like we can get to the quest marker from here, so I guess we'll go back around. We're completely on the other side. I'll find it eventually.
It's a shame House Varun abandoned their embassy. I bet we could have learned a lot from one another.
Heller mentioned House Varun, and kind of implied they're not very friendly. Of course, he said they were there without authorization, so I wouldn't really expect them to be in that case.
Whatever it is, it can't be that bad.
All of which begs the question of who was fighting who in the colony war we heard about. And we're picking up even more side quests from background conversations. Later, people. There are only so many hours in a day. Alright, looks like we finally made it. Well, it sounds like they're recruiting right outside. And here's our guy. Sarah? Sarah? There she is.
Sarah, good to see you. Who's your friend?
Hopefully Constellation's newest member. Thought I'd run through some legwork together.
Another space explorer. Hey, you ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, earn some credits, even get your UC citizenship?
No thanks. I'd rather chart stars than fight wars.
Whoa, where have I heard that line before?
I say the same thing every time John tries to get me to re-enlist.
I surrender. Can't blame me for trying, right? All right, here's what I've got. Vanguard volunteer by the name of Moera. Helps patrol the old neighborhood. Sol, Mars, Neptune, you know.
The Sol system? Which admiral did he upset to get that posting?
He's Martian, born and raised. Not like I can get anyone else to care. Word is he's got some fancy metal ornament he's been showing off to the old grounders. Matches that description Sarah gave me.
Ah, maybe we can finally figure out if Earth is lost, forgotten, or if Lynn was just being sarcastic when she said some people don't even believe it exists. What's wrong with the Sol system?
You kidding? Lowest posting request rate in the whole fleet. Only thing there the UC cares about is Mars. And no one wants to go to Mars. They want to get off Mars.
No mention of Earth. Interesting. So who's this Moara?
Oh, he goes way back. Think he was recruit number 81 or something.
All right, we'll talk to him. I'm sure we can make him a good offer for it.
Sol system is a lot of planets, but a vet like Moera will be checking in at Sidonia on the regular.
You mean hitting the bars, don't you, John?
Hey, nothing wrong with a little refresh between patrols.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Did Moara happen to say where he found this ornament of his?
You'll have to ask him, but Vanguard volunteers have retrieval rights if they get into a scrap. Wouldn't be surprised if he found it off of a pirate or something like that.
Okay, guess we'll ask him. Anything you can tell me about Sidonia?
Yeah, bring a coloring book. Get so used to seeing red, you'll forget what blues and greens look like.
Ah, so it's a city on Mars or something. Thanks for all your help, John.
Anything for Sarah. UC always takes care of its own. Even the prodigal children.
Oh, brother.
I'm serious about that recruitment offer, by the way. You just come talk to me when you're ready. UC is a good friend to have.
Okay, I'll keep it in mind. But right now, I guess we're going to Mars. And I'm trying to avoid too much metagaming, but when the game is conspicuously cagey about Earth, which may be forgotten or just a slum nobody cares about, but definitely not the center of civilization, and the first quest it gives you after the tutorial is to go to Mars, there is zero chance they don't expect you to pop next door and see what's up. But before we do that, I'm going to spend these skill points. Okay, here's how it works. There are 5 skill categories: physical, social, combat, science, and tech. Each category has 4 levels: novice, advanced, expert, and master, and requires you to unlock a certain number of novice skills before you can take any advanced skills, and so on. That number varies by category. Once you've unlocked a skill, you can increase your rank in it by completing challenges, but only after it's unlocked. So for example, persuasion is already unlocked because of my background, and any speech check will move me toward the next rank. But nobody I killed in the pirate base counted toward ranking up any weapon skills because I hadn't unlocked the relevant skills yet. Ditto for piloting, scanning, etc. The good news is, I thought I was sitting on 2 skill points, but I actually have 3, so I can finish replicating real-life Jeff and start learning some futuristic and/or useful skills. First off, wellness. I work out every day and eat healthy, and it's been years since my doctor nagged me to change anything about my diet or lifestyle. And if there's anything a doctor can nag you about, they will, so I think that totally fits. And having bonus hit points sounds like a good idea if people are going to be shooting at me occasionally. And speaking of shooting, I'm hardly an Olympic marksman, but I do have an assortment of firearm certifications and licenses, so I'm gonna unlock ballistic weapons. There are separate specialized skills for pistols, rifles, and shotguns, which I assume stack with the more generalized ballistic skill, but that would be overstating the case. Now, the third point. Surveying unlocks a zoom feature on your scanner, which I want soon, but if we're going to be spending a lot of time in populated areas for the foreseeable future, it's not super urgent. And who am I kidding? I'm taking boost pack training. I've wanted a jetpack since I was a kid, and it seems like it could be useful literally anywhere, not just wilderness areas. Not saying I'd fly up to the second floor of the mall instead of just walking over to the escalator, but yes, I am. Alright, now we just need to find the monorail. Where's Sarah? Okay.
Oh, I've always liked that statue. It's beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what the artist was trying to represent.
It's pretty obviously a phallic symbol, Sarah, and I think you already knew that. Glad I'm not the only Constellation member who hits on their colleagues. For the record, I will not perform sexual favors for a better performance review. Outside of a work context, you never know.
Security scanners, chemical sniffers. The United Colonies sure isn't taking any chances.
Ooh, very slick change of subject, since I was just commenting on that myself. Okay, I wanted to ask everybody a question before I wrap up. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm whining, but the analytics for this series have been, there's no point sugarcoating it, bad. I kind of thought playing something more recent than my usual retro thing would be more popular, but I guess most people played it when it came out, got bored, and moved on. Now, the reasons I play games, mod games, and make videos about games overlap, but they're not identical. If I'm the only one enjoying this, and I am enjoying it, I'm really digging it, but I could move on to the next video project and play this on my own time. What that hypothetical next project might be, I have a couple mod ideas for the Oblivion remaster, which is paradoxically even more recent and more retro. So let me know if you'd rather see me stay the course with Starfield or put it on the back burner, maybe come back when I have some mod ideas for it. For starters, I know there are romanceable companions in this game, but I'm getting the impression that Noelle isn't one of them, which would break my heart. In fact, I'll make that a poll on the community tab of the channel page. If the responses are overwhelmingly, please anything but Starfield, then that's what I'll do. Otherwise, I'll keep recording when I play this and hope my enthusiasm is contagious. And that's it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.